So yeah, I saw this video pop up on my recommended feed, and you know, clearly I never thought of reacting to it at all. I just simply was watching it, but you know, then I started to watch it, and I'm like, okay, wait, now I want to say things, and I want people to hear what I have to say. So let's see.
Justin Bieber is probably the last person on earth you feel bad for. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
Okay, already, what does that mean? Because like I heard that, and I was like, I don't know, like what does that mean? The last person on earth you should feel bad for. He's the very last, so I should not feel bad for him. Basically, what he's saying. At all.
Like, if you were to feel bad for someone, he would be the last person.
Why? Like I said, I know a decent amount of his story and stuff like that, and I've seen a lot of crap I would have been caught. And right now, basically, I am making like this video basically to stick up on, you know, like I'm on his side type thing, you know.
Tween made a few YouTube videos singing in 2007, got swooped up by the major record labels, and they forced his generic pop songs onto us.
Now that I can
then
believe,
every young
I'm not,
girl in the world became
gonna lie.
obsessed with him, making him millions of dollars and keeping his songs in rotation
labels,
on the radio.
they some,
He
you
was an
know,
easy person to hate
curse
or
words,
just
man.
completely disregard. However, in the early 2010s, he started to change. He was lashing out in public,
Now, like,
assaulting
see, like me a long time ago, me now, I'm gonna look at that and be like, you know, why is he doing that? What's the matter with him, you know? Because I don't know the story. I just see that, you know? Especially on the internet with the, like, oh, Justin Bieber assaults someone or does this terrible thing. I mean, you could do the best living thing in the world type of thing, you know, and someone will turn it around and make you look like the, you know, bad A.
people and starting to confirm
Bad
people's
cursor.
suspicions of him being a snobby rich
Like
brat.
what are
And
you
although this
doing?
video
Like, bro, I would punch you too. Like, if I'm riding in a
starting to
car,
confirm
like, I
people's
don't care who you are, paparazzi, whatever.
Suspicions
Stop
of him
grabbing
being
for
a
my. Look at, he's grabbing for his chain, bruh.
lashing out in public, assaulting
Like,
people,
what are you
and starting
doing,
to confirm
bro?
people's suspicions of him being a snobby rich brat. And although this video is not going to be me trying to convince you that Justin Bieber is an unproblematic saint, there is another perspective to
What does that
consider
mean too?
that
'Cause I don't know what that is. What does an unproblematic saint mean?
That he's not a problem. That he's such a goody two-shoes.
might make his antics
Okay,
a
I
little
still don't
understandable.
really quite
For
really
example,
understand.
the many times he was blatantly assaulted or harassed in public.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Bro, okay, I love James Corden, but I mean, watching that, I was like, you know, bro, like, I mean, first of all, I'm not 15 anymore, so I don't really quite know, just because, you know, and also I'm not in the situation. Yes, it is a little weird that, like,
Thank
like,
you.
sniffs him, you know? That is very odd, but
It isn't very difficult to see how uncomfortable Justin is. James Corden is leaning in as close as he possibly can with his hand
Just to
resting
smell
on
him.
Justin's back.
Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Rubbing Justin's face was just
now I feel like after he would have touched my face, I would have been like super questionable, like, you know, like, bro, like, why'd you just do that? Yeah, the sniffing thing was a little odd, but it's like, okay, why'd you just touch me like that type of thing, you know?
disrespectful, but he couldn't resist touching the boy. Bieber awkwardly tries to go along with the joke, but James makes it even worse.
Like I
Vods,
said, I
just
don't
do
know,
it.
it's
Don't
like,
mess
bro, I like, you know, I love James Corden or whatever you call it, you know, but also, like, you know, he went back on his show like multiple times. He's been on all these TV shows and stuff. But like I said, in a way, let's just keep going, because I feel like, you know, if I try and explain anything now, people are gonna have questions. But hey, maybe that'll make him stick around.
around. Don't tease me, Bieber.
People couldn't keep their
Like-
hands off Justin, including Katy Perry, who had to get herself a handful as she mouths to the camera, "Sorry, Selena." At the end of this interaction, Justin says, "We can do that forever if you want," which made some people think that he was okay with this behavior. Even David Letterman put his hands on Justin. During the 2012 interview,
like,
David
he probably says it as a joke. He was like the biggest person in the world. Clearly, the amount of pressure this person has on him, like, you know, just I'm just gonna hit play and
insisted
explain
on
later.
denouncing Justin's tattoos.
Is that a new tattoo?
This is a new tattoo.
Oh God, how many do you have?
I have just a couple.
Well, tell me that's the last one.
It might be.
No, it is. You don't. I mean,
Why? like, hey, Justin, don't tell me you're buying another black shirt, bro. No, you know what? Matter of fact, no, that's it. You're done. Don't buy any more. Why? I swear, like, watching this video, like, when I was laying in my bed watching this for, like, a brief second when I saw it on YouTube or whatever you call it, I was like, bro, it just comes back to what I keep saying in the world. I am, like, so to speak, the Justin Bieber who never made it, and or just simply I am Justin Bieber, except he's famous, I'm not type thing. You know, like, he's like in the popular famous type of eye, I'm not, you know.
Honestly.
David decided to treat Justin like his son's troubled friend looking for guidance, even though it was never asked for. Funny thing is, Justin ended up doing exactly what David told him not to do. But Letterman took it too far when he put his hands on Justin.
You know, I got believe.
Although this one wasn't explicit in nature, it was still totally uncalled for. David would later apologize for his behavior, but it's odd to see how many people were so willing to put their hands on the boy.
Yeah,
luckily
just
he was
like,
able
you
to
know.
prevent Leah Remini from getting her hands on him
some of
during
these
this
get
interview
so
on
crazy.
The Talk.
This right here is insane.
Justin had to shout no 5 times before she would stop, but that's not all. Earlier in this segment, she was forcing him to answer a really strange
Listen to this,
would you
Mitch.
rather question.
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms?
Like, I understand how maybe somehow that could be taken as a joke, but first of all, one thing, look at how many little kids are behind him. He himself, Justin Bieber, at this time is a littler kid. I don't think he's 18 here at this point. Maybe like, you know, even if he was, or even if he's like right there, bro, asking like as an adult, asking this like little kid, would you rather be completely naked and perform a song in front of like hundreds of thousands of people or something like that, sold out arenas, or drink a blended can of worms or some crazy crap?
Answer Justin Bieber.
We're canceling people now when they do like, you know, one bad mistake or anything like that, you know, like it's because I was also just watching another video yesterday that kind of entails into this like sort of odd topic, you know, of like, you know, oh, they do one thing, get them out of here, you know. First of all, we're human, we make mistakes, just like Justin Bieber says, you know, today in this world, we make mistakes, we're human, we're not perfect, and that's completely fine. It's just like, you know, learn from your mistakes and then, you know, like, don't do it again type thing, you know. Even if we do it again, like, say, with some things, you know, I don't know what that may be. Like, say, if, like, someone relapses on drugs, for example, don't hate the person and think they're, like, you know, oh, that crazy idiot's back on drugs, you know, oh, just get rid of him, bro. Like, you know, whatever. Like, like if they're trying and they make a mishap, you know, whatever. But it's like, especially back then, bro. I mean, this is so weird.
Leah
and like
insisted
no
on
one's
pushing
saying
this very
anything
sexual
about it.
question,
Like, you know, like,
while there
yo,
are little
what the
girls and boys directly behind her in the audience.
Yeah.
Justin
That
realized
kid's like
was
5.
trapped, because no matter
This girl
what he
obviously
tried to
wanted
say, she
a
was
certain
trying to
answer
force
that
the answer
she
she
asked.
wanted out of him. But he stood his
Yeah, I was
ground
gonna
and
say.
chose to not give in to her manipulation. This wasn't the first time Justin stood his ground when a host got sexual with him. While doing a radio show called Mojo in the Morning, the
I
host
said, from
Shannon
this
Murphy
point on,
brought
bro,
the
they get
conversation in
literally
a
so
strange
crazy.
direction.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like,
What?
I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like I've kind of had it with my father.
Dude, I am not having that conversation with anybody. That is a fact. I am not talking about that.
Me the sex talk.
Okay.
So
That
why
is
don't you give me
private information, my
I
guy.
feel uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want to know? the sex
Oh, listen to this, bro.
talk from a 15?
See, my
little bit.
parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me the sex talk?
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want
Oh.
to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird.
He very clearly stated that he was
Yo!
I mean,
That is the most fricked up thing I think I've ever seen. I mean, bro, was so honest and like straight up like, you know, you are weird, bro. What is the matter with you? She even was like, oh, you're not really gonna tell me, man. Come on, like what?
was uncomfortable when the host brought up sex, but the
Oh my
circumstances that built up
God,
to this
dude.
are a bit confusing, because earlier in the conversation, this happened.
Justin, what are you going to be doing after the show tonight?
I thought I was picking you up.
Now, when I was 15 years old, I probably would have said some dumb stuff like that to an older girl, but apparently
What did he say?
Justin couldn't keep his hands to himself.
Probably
That little
picking
kid
you
is
up
like
or something like
oh.
that.
Walking set of hormones. He is.
Wow, got a little too touchy-feely with you?
He wasn't just like patting my butt, he was grabbing my butt and he kept saying, is it inappropriate? Is this inappropriate?
Oh my God,
And he
how
would grab
old
it
is it?
harder and go, is it inappropriate now? Is it inappropriate now? Hi. Oh my gosh, he's kissing me. Here, come sit here. Come sit with me right here. Dude, Justin Bieber just like comes up and you just started making out with me, you know that?
Is that not appropriate?
Justin was obviously flirting with Shannon in a juvenile.
Okay, so first of all, 15. Whether people think that's probably like, old enough or whatever. I mean, like, I am 22. I wouldn't say that we're completely like, whatever. I say like, if you're like 30 doing something like that, like, I mean, no one's really gonna probably think that's in a way, so to speak, weird. And maybe like, it's just like, oh, you're kissing a random person, like, so he's 15. He's a young kid, and like, also no one's telling him to like quit, they're letting him do it
Mile away. Then she said live on air how Justin was touching and kissing
I don't know, like
her.
I said,
we can imagine
like if that is true, I mean, yeah, it is weird, that he would sort of do that and then also say that, like if this was before the little interview podcast thing or whatever you can call it, radio show, but it's also like, I don't know.
there were definitely some instances where Justin felt like he could probably touch whoever and whatever he wanted, since, well, it was often done to him. But regardless, the 26-year-old shouldn't have brought up the sex conversation on the air. Even men were infatuated with young Bieber.
Like, as an adult, bro, I was gonna say, like, whether something has happened to you, like, okay, so say that just happened and you didn't like it. Tell him to stop, and, like, maybe now you don't even want him on your radio show type of thing, you still had him on there, and you're, like, keep going with him,
L.A. Reid, music executive who signed Justin to his first major record deal, said, "This kid was beautiful, like a woman can be beautiful, and men rarely are, and he turned it on as soon as he stepped into the room." He recalls how Bieber had grown his hair down, almost covering his eyes, and says he could see immediately that Justin's hair would be every bit as important as his songs, his voice, his face, or his presence. Justin was simply beautiful, he gushes. His superpower was his face. The context of this article makes it seem like L.A. Reid was attracted to the young Bieber, but we don't really know that for sure. He was definitely right about his star power, but how he came to that conclusion just seems a little odd. However, the most deplorable...
I almost want to say this is probably simply why people used to say, like, a long time ago, like, oh, you have a crush on Justin Bieber, because, like, maybe at this point in time, like, he was going through all of this. Like, probably, like, I don't know, second grade, I don't even know when that would have been. I left 8th grade in 2016, so someone figure that out and tell me, because I don't know. I'm not good at math, sorry.
Was by Jenny McCarthy at the 40th Annual American Music Awards.
Look at Luke, bro, like...
I feel violated right now.
A shocked Justin Bieber couldn't say anything.
Kanye ran up on stage and simply took, a Grammy out of Taylor's hand, and that was a massive scandal. How was that not?
But the truth, I feel violated right now. By this point, this was all too common for him. The craziest part is that Jenny straight up admitted to her crimes.
I took the opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of molested him. It'd be like cougar rape.
Jenny clearly enjoys the predatory behavior, as she described it as molestation and R-word. She thinks it's cute and quirky, and even bragged about it on Twitter after. Now, if this all happened while the cameras were on, could you imagine what happened while the cameras were off? Just like many child stars, Justin turned to drugs. Every teenager experiments.
And people, again, hate on him or something like that, why would you go to drugs, you stupid idiot? I mean, bro, I don't blame him, honestly. After going through all of that, I mean, I don't do drugs after all this stuff, I feel like I've probably been through with either people telling me stuff or like, just going through high school and basically, in my opinion, going from a private school to a public school, like heaven to hell. But it's like straight up like, what the heck is in my eye, bro? Holy frick. But yeah, it's like, bro, like again, like I swear, like I don't even blame him, for like doing that.
Trying to cope and
escape,
it's
not the right
which
answer,
led to
but bro,
behavior
I mean, like,
that left a permanent stain on his reputation. For all the people that hated Justin, he was about to give them a...
mean to him? Like, cause I watched it about like right here with the spitting and like basically right here at the end where he was like with what they're saying right now, basically the end of this sort of topic, like where he went through his dark days, and then after that I didn't see, but it's almost pretty much over anyway after that.
A stronger reason. And for all the people with unrealistic expectations, they were about to...
For what, like doing drugs, or what was he talking about? Like in what sense?
But he was trying to cope and escape, which led to behavior that left a permanent stain on his reputation. For all the people that hated Justin, he was about to give them a stronger reason. And for all the people with unrealistic expectations, they were about to be crushed. His first controversy began in 2013 when TMZ leaked photos of him holding what appeared to be a blunt. Although Justin faced no charges for the incident, this was our first clue that Bieber was beginning to shed his wholesome image. Things took a turn for the worse later.
That's like also what yeah, I think it was definitely what's it called, because that was when Believe came out, and that's when he started to like crumble, and like people, oh my god, blah 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 about
same year. While on the European leg of his Believe tour, Justin stopped in
Bro, I'm not
England.
even joking. After watching the one part that I watched, like I'm like so actually scared that he may never come back. Because like you watch the documentaries and stuff that he was in, recently that he made himself on YouTube, and it's like he was like, I'm in the best time of my life right now, and he's been trying to like stay basically away from like so much. Guarantee, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't like come back. I mean, personally, for a music, oh, I like Justin Bieber type of sense, it's like, I clearly want him to like stick around forever, but it's like I don't blame him. I wouldn't
just
be
in
shocked.
time for his
What am I
19th
pushing, bro?
birthday. Later that day, Bieber tweeted, "Big night ahead," anticipating his birthday celebration. He and his entourage had planned
he's
a
19,
$8,000 birthday bash, booking tables at the
18,
Cirque
turning
des
19
Soirs
though.
Club in Soho. Unfortunately, the celebration didn't meet expectations after members of Justin's entourage were denied entry into the club because a few of the members of Bieber's party were under the suitable age of 18. Justin tweeted, "Worst birthday," complimented with a message to his Instagram account, voicing his side of the story. "I love how the club wanted to give the press another reason why we didn't stay at their weak-ass club, so they wouldn't look bad for me walking in and right back out." People thought Justin felt entitled to come into another country and break the rules because he is a star. From there, he allegedly showed up 2 hours late for his debut show at the O2 Arena after throwing a massive tantrum. Several
O2
backstage
Arena.
sources claim Bieber was in a bad mood after
O2.
waking up late because of a night out and proceeded to lock
what's O2
himself in
Arena?
his dressing room to play computer games.
Well, O2
The
Arena,
crowd
I don't know where it is. Like, I'll have to look it up. or
London.
whatever. But the O2 Arena is where freaking Victor Sheen and Callan just performed at, bro. Like, oh, it is in the UK, bro. So that's
I would
where
say he's pulling like text on screen. It says London 2 gig or something.
I didn't know that.
reportedly began booing at about
Dope.
9:30 p.m.
Like
Almost
I said,
an
I still
hour
want to get
before
to reacting
Justin
to that as
ultimately
well,
hit
but
the
it's just
stage.
it's
If
2
the week couldn't
hours,
get
bro.
any worse, Justin lashed out at a photographer outside his London hotel after the man called him a f***ing little moron.
What'd you say? You heard what I said, man. What'd you say? You heard what I said. Lose your...
Why are you laughing? What's the point of laughing? Explain yourself. This is a like whatever type of video, bro. You gotta explain. Like why'd you just do that?
It was just his voice when he was saying it.
I don't know, like I don't know if I would have sort of maybe lashed out that hard, but in a way, I still feel like I would have been like, dude, why, like, what is the matter with you? Or maybe depending on what kind of state I'm in, and especially at this point, his mental state is probably so bad and stuff like that. So it's like, clearly I understand the reason why he's doing this, and also the guy's just literally like provoking him or whatever, like a good word to use is, like he's just helping him get more angry, like by like you little.
I'm back, you prick. Back. Right? That's all. Little. What are you doing?
I just love the irony of this situation. The photographer tries to get a rise
What
out of
are you
Justin,
doing?
then
What are
Justin
you
responds
doing?
with threats. Then the photographer gets really mad at Justin for getting mad at him. And the guy
Bro, all
also
these
taking a
dudes
video
are
of the
idiots,
situation.
bro. Like, I understand he's famous or whatever you can call it, but like, my God, bro. Leave him alone, bro.
Gets upset when someone
My
starts
God,
filming
dude,
him.
can't even
It's
get in the
ridiculous.
car.
He responded on Twitter by saying he had a rough morning and that he let his emotions get the best of him. But this incident started his lifelong beef with the paparazzi. In June of 2013, Justin and his entourage were involved in an altercation with a photographer outside the Hit Factory studio in Miami. The entire exchange was caught on tape. Later that same day, Justin was skateboarding outside the Hit Factory when another photographer began snapping photos of him. Bieber's bodyguards allegedly rushed the photographer, and one started choking him. The photographer claimed that he grabbed his camera and removed the memory cards. It seemed like every few months there was another controversy, just slowly chipping
See
away
what I
at his
mean? It's like,
reputation.
bro, like
when he peed.
Leave him alone. I don't like I said, it's like
Paparazzi is one of the stupidest jobs ever.
bro, especially like I said, like how those people sort of like go along type of thing with it, like the just they do what they're sort of told, for like a headline or something. That's why, like I said, from getting off the internet and realizing, bro, frick the internet, bro. Like if social media was never made, I wouldn't care.
Eat in a cleaning bucket while partying.
And they show this as if it's bad, but I mean, like, sure, I've watched.
I mean,
something.
that's kind of bad.
I watched something or whatever you call it before, but I was gonna say, like, I don't know whose story's correct, but I saw something where they were like, we don't have bathrooms or the bathrooms are full, like go here or something, we'll clean it up later or something. Just because again he was probably like trying to flee away from people or something like that with paparazzi or some dumb crap. I don't know, bro.
Justin and his friends left a nightclub through the restaurant's back entrance before stopping to relieve himself in the kitchen. More
Like I
specifically,
don't think he
in
would
the
just
bucket that is
randomly
filled
be
with water.
leaving, through the back exit or whatever you can call it, and then just like, you know what, hey, I gotta take a pee. This looks like a good spot.
Clean the floors. This is just another inconsiderate drunk teenager doing what a million others have done before, but Justin should know better. Then while passing through China during the Asia leg of his Believe tour, a picture was posted of him being carried up the stairs, which caused people on the internet to label him as a diva. His controversies were definitely minor in the beginning. He was being heavily criticized, attacked in blogs and by TMZ for the situations that were pretty small, but the heavily criticized label him
live in
as
China,
a diva.
so I don't know, like, first of all, like I don't really
was
see
posted
how
of
this
him
is
being
bad
carried
at all.
up the stairs,
But like, what is so bad about this?
which caused people on the internet to label him as a diva.
He looks
His
like
controversies
Billy
were
from
definitely
Fortnite,
minor in
sitting
the
in a crown
beginning. He was being
chair,
heavily
like-
criticized, attacked in blogs and by TMZ for the situations that were pretty small, but the controversies just never stopped. The coverage got more detailed, and the reactions just got worse, including the time he caused an entire revolution in Colombia. In November 2013, Justin was undergoing the Latin American section of his Believe tour. While in Bogota, Colombia, Justin snuck out of his hotel to do graffiti in an area where graffiti is banned. He painted a marijuana leaf and the Canadian flag while the police provided him with security. We aren't sure why the police decided to protect him, and the locals were outraged, because 2 years prior, a police officer shot and killed an unarmed 16-year-old kid while he was spraying graffiti in an area similar to the one where Justin did his. Rebellion against law enforcement broke out because if Justin Bieber can spray graffiti, so can they. And if the police protected Justin, they should defend graffiti artists instead of harassing and incarcerating them. 300 artists came together and occupied the area where Justin sprayed his graffiti, and over 24 hours painted more than 700 pieces of graffiti. Justin Bieber was the cause for all of this to happen. The poor dude had no idea what he sparked, said one of the young graffiti artists. The rebellious graffiti trend spread like wildfire to other major cities across Colombia.
I just like,
with
you know,
hundreds
it's like the sort of Chris Brown thing, you know, like I want to say from a couple years ago or something like that, you know, when he dropped his the album before the most recent one with like Cab something in this, like a song like that in it. I don't remember. It was like Black and White or something like that, and I want to say it was him. But either way, the like not the very most recent 1111 album, but the most recent one before that. I didn't even know like he had that situation like long ago, you know, with like the sort of abusive thing, you know, with Rihanna or whatever you can call it. But it's just like, you know, stuff like that. It's like, bro, it's in the past. Like, leave it there, you know, like we've already gone through this sort of like, you know, fixing process, forgiving process, you know, whatever, like, you know, whatever. And like people still bring it up to today. Like, you know, this video was done 7 months ago. Like, you know, why are we randomly making, you know, a video on this like 7 months ago? This is so long ago.
of other artists joining the movement. He also had a spitting problem, with multiple reports over the years of him spitting on people during violent outbursts, including his own fans, who were visiting him outside of his hotel in Toronto where he spat down on them, breaking out into laughter with his buddies. Then he took a photo of his view, which was posted on Instagram sporting a caption about how he has the best fans in the world. In 2014, he spat in his neighbor's face after a heated argument, which started by Justin driving his Ferrari at over 100 miles per hour down the road. When his neighbor confronted him at the front doorstep, Justin told him to get the F out of here before spitting in Jeff's face and saying, "I'm gonna effing kill you." A year later, he had another altercation with the same neighbor, which resulted in Justin throwing 24 eggs at his neighbor's house.
Hey, fuck you, asshole! I got another one for you, actually! Yeah, come right over here, you motherfucker! Call the cops.
Months later, Justin pleaded no contest to 1 count of misdemeanor vandalism for the incident. In exchange for the plea, he was ordered to pay $80,000 in restitution and to stay away from his former neighbor and the neighbor's family for 2 years. By this point, Justin kind of proved he was a privileged boy with an attitude problem, but this last controversy would send him spiraling down. In June of 2014, a video emerged of the 15-year-old Justin telling racist jokes about black people, using the N-word multiple times. As the video went viral, Justin issued an apology, stating, "I thought it was okay to repeat hurtful words and jokes, but I didn't realize at the time that it wasn't funny and that, in fact, my actions were continuing the ignorance." Some people gave him the benefit of the doubt, that he was young and dumb, but then a second video showing a 15-year-old Justin circulated. Similar to the first, he sang his own song, "One Less Lonely Girl."
Again, though, you know, like, the amount of like just like things going through someone's head and they don't realize what they're doing, so to speak, or maybe they think it's okay, blah blah blah, you know. 15, you're still very young. In high school especially, that's like the age sort of, I feel like everybody does it, you know. It's like it just goes spiraling and everyone's, you know, okay with it. It's like, you know, no one sees it as like a world perspective type of thing, you know. It's like, you know, just because he's famous, he's getting, you know, the hateful type of treatment because he said it. Yes, it's bad, But it's like,
replacing the lyrics with "one less lonely" and using the hard R, stating that if he were to kill one, he would be part of the KKK. He apologized again a day later and was released, stating, "Facing my mistakes from years ago has been one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with, but I feel I need to take responsibility for those mistakes and not let them linger. At the end of the day, I just need to step up and own what I did. Once again, I'm sorry for all of those I've let down and offended." I don't think I really need to explain why people were absolutely outraged with this. And for a lot of people, once they saw these videos, their mind was made up about Justin Bieber, and they're never going to change their mind. And I can't blame them for that.
Like
Justin dragged his
They don't really know nothing. And I mean, sure, like I said, I could be just sitting here blabbering my mouth. I don't really actually know this human in my life. It's just simply people written stories, or making videos all over the place, about this person. I could say this person is blah, 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 making up stories, whatever.
Reputation to an all-time low. He was stamped as just another
views
child
for no
star
reason.
gone mad. After a drunk driving incident in Miami, he was never the same. Justin was seen at SET nightclub in Miami Beach, Florida. He left the venue driving a yellow Lamborghini before police spotted him in a residential neighborhood. Bieber's entourage allegedly blocked the street so he could drag race singer Khalil, who was driving a red Ferrari. Authorities initially conducted a traffic stop for drag racing, but arrested Justin once they realized he was intoxicated. He was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence, driving with an over 6-month expired license, and resisting arrest without violence. His mugshot depicting him smiling was concerning to fans. Police claimed Bieber told authorities he consumed alcohol, smoked marijuana, and took prescription drugs. He and Khalil were locked up in a jail cell for 10 hours. Justin was later
19, is still high school. High school. I'm telling you, high school for me, and especially seeing a bunch of stories like him. It's just basically trying to sort of fit in with the world, and
19 is college.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. Sorry, but I was gonna say,
yeah.
I left high school, so either way, I just feel like, even if you're 21, for example, and you're so to speak officially an adult, type of thing, it's I almost still anymore, especially nowadays with the people, it's I don't really see people like that as adults, so to speak. I don't know, it's maybe we're sort of getting there and stuff like that, but it's
later released from these charges on a $2,500 bond. A toxicology report revealed that Bieber had THC and Xanax in his system at the time of his arrest. Following Bieber's arrest on the DUI charge, more than 270,000 people petitioned the White House seeking to have him deported from the United States. Although the number of signatures received was sufficient to require a response under published White House guidelines, the Obama administration didn't take the petition seriously. But it turns out behind the scenes, Justin had a much worse drug problem than people realized.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me. I was just young.
Justin's drug abuse got so bad, he was even caught in the most dangerous areas of Los Angeles buying drugs.
Hood, homie. MS gang. Nice seeing you, bro. Have a good one. I just saw Bieber. I just seen Bieber.
And you're
Leave
throwing
it
up
to
symbols
Bieber.
On video.
That's crazy.
His addiction got so bad, he was willing to put his own life at risk. Justin says his substance use was normal in the beginning, but gradually became a problem to escape from the pressure of being this pop star. And although many people look at that as suffering from success, the level of expectation he needs to meet is unattainable. Surely a lot of his controversies were deplorable, but the ones that were minor were treated just as bad. That likely led to him giving up on his health, his body, and lashing out since they were going to criticize him anyways. He couldn't go out on a bad note though. So he made one last push after teaming up with Skrillex to produce a number of different sounds. Where Are You Now? Then What Do You Mean? Which was his first #1 hit single. Sorry, which kind of doubled as his apology to the world for his behavior. Love Yourself. And plenty of other radio hits to help him release his most successful album of all time, Purpose. It's hard for his opposition to feel bad for him when in the end, all of his antics will just help him sell more records. No matter what he does, it will be seen as the wrong step. It's quite literally is the child star curse, because nothing you do will ever compare to how you were introduced to the world as a perfect, innocent child. And with that, he finally stepped out of the spotlight, and when he returned, you could see how bad things really got. First of all, his music got worse. Yummy was terrible. But more importantly, in the press...
Whoa, what the actual curse word, bro? What, oh god, dude.
Really? Was terrible. But more importantly, in the press runs that led up to this, you can see Justin physically suffering. His anxiety was so bad to the point where he was constantly fidgeting, slumping over.
Bro, like I was gonna say, like they literally, there's so many things rushing to my mind, man, when I like see this stuff or whatever you call it. Like, first of all, music is not horrible. It literally, you know, by numbers and stuff like that, yeah, blah, 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 it went #1, all that. Like, if you don't like it, okay, fine. That's, you know, no one's going to force you to like it, but it's not horrible. Clearly, you know, by numbers and stuff like that, you know, people clearly liked it or whatever you can call it or whatever, you know. No one said they hated it. It's still, you know, pretty big, blah, blah, blah. And then what else did he say? Because I already can't
Yummy
remember.
was terrible. But more importantly, in the press runs that led up...
Like, this documentary, he literally like said he himself, I think, in this video, you know, basically, or even in another video that I saw, because like, you know, when I did my sort of a Justin Bieber obsession thing or whatever you call it, and sort of got back into liking Justin Bieber in 2021, and it's not that I didn't, you know, dislike him before, it's just I didn't, you know, basically listen to his stuff. It's like, you know, oh, say I like this person, and okay, and then I just stop. There's no, well, there is a reason, but it's not like, you know, oh, I have any hatred thing against them or whatever you call it. But for this like documentary, like he literally said, you know, it was basically just to get an inside look of what he was, you know, going through, dealing with, all that, you know, like he literally has videos of him going to get help, you know, at doctors, getting, what is it called, like NAD or something like that, like IV and stuff to clean drugs. You know, it was when he was on drugs and stuff like that. He made this, and like people are saying, you know, like music's horrible, and you could clearly see him suffering, you know, like making...
His music got worse. Yummy was terrible. But more importantly, in the press runs that led up to this, you can see Justin physically suffering. His anxiety was so bad to the point where he was constantly fidgeting, slumping over, not looking at people.
What that does to a person's brain at such a young age or any age, when you're surrounded by that kind of noise and excitement for so long. I mean, did you realize
I was gonna say, like, bro, like I said, you know, when I went to what's it called the other day, and like, don't say it or whatever you call it, but I was gonna say, like, when I went to what's it called the other day, and just being out in sort of the public eye or whatever you call it, like, bro, I was like sitting there under the table shaking my leg, you know, like going like this, like tapping my foot on the ground, just from like, you know, just I was shaking like that too. And sure, like I got ADHD, and I think, you know, he either does too or he has ADD or whatever you can call it, but either way, you know, like we all got mental health crap or whatever you can call it, especially, you know, like because people keep judging us or whatever you can call it and stuff like that, and especially like with some things I may feel like I have, and then people tell me like I sort of don't, and I'm like, you know, if these are the sort of like symptoms of this sort of thing, you know, I in a way have it. It's not to the point where like, you know, oh, I want to get put like, you know, meds on or something like that to me or whatever you can call it, you know, for getting diagnosed with this or whatever you call it. It's just to the point where like, you know, I want to have this sort of written saying, you know, like, hey, look, don't judge me just because I have these things or whatever you can call it, type of thing.
I mean, looking back on it, what it was doing to you?
Perhaps the most profound moment was during his Zane Lowe interview when he asked Justin about Billie Eilish, since Billie in 2020 was the 18-year-old pop star who was thrown into the industry very similar to Bieber. Justin felt like he wanted to protect her.
Yeah, so yeah.
I almost kind of feel like that's maybe why I am sort of not in the music type of business yet, just because like, you know, God or someone is protecting me, because like, you know, look at it.
I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to...
You're not watching?
To lose it. I don't want her to...
Not saying nothing.
You know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
What am I supposed to say?
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
Do you agree with anything I've been saying?
I'm just a call away.
Just the mere thought of Billie enduring what
listening.
Justin had to endure brought him to tears, and recalling those dark moments in his life made fans realize that this was not fake. This young man was likely abused by this industry. Justin's antics have slowed down considerably. He is 29, has a child and a wife he's fully focused on. Does he still have an...
Okay, so I was gonna say, bro, that is his sister. What's the stepsister, right? Like I was gonna say, because his dad got remarried, had like 4 kids or something like that. I think, you know, like like his dad, biological father, and his biological mother. His biological father and mother had him, Justin Bieber, at a very young age, and then his dad got remarried and, you know, had 4 kids, I think, with someone else. They have 2 girls, I think, around the exact same age. They have, this is their, I want to say, newest one, the youngest one, and then they have, I don't remember his name, dude, but like he's in the documentary or whatever you can call it. Like he's the...
I feel like that would just be a sister, because it's his dad's kid.
That yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like step.
Because that little boy that is his brother wasn't...
Jackson. I know the name now. Came to my mind.
That was his dad and a different girl, right? His
Yeah, like I
dad's kid
said,
and
like I
different
said,
girl.
you know, it was like the only kid that his biological father and mother had was Justin. Like Justin is an only child, but he has like step sisters and brothers.
He's 29, has a child and a wife he's fully focused on. Does he still have an entitled pop star attitude at times? Absolutely. Does he still have beef with the paparazzi? You bet. Some of you will never see Bieber as anything but a privileged boy who didn't have to put in much hard work to see the heights of the music industry. But even the benefits of his success, being universally loved, being praised, and constantly receiving validation are also
It's like
bad.
bro is
Being universally
trying to drive on the
loved,
highway,
being praised,
dog.
and constantly receiving validation are also bad. Variety magazine dubbed him a once-in-a-generation superstar who charted a swift and stunning rise from precocious YouTube
But
talent.
I think one other thing that I was trying to say along, like sometime in this freaking long video or whatever you call it was something like, you know, does Taylor's, because like I said, I don't know Taylor Swift really about her really at all. And my point is like, you know, I don't see like on the internet, you know, really Taylor Swift dealing with anything like this. Like, you know, I clearly see like, you know, the sort of stalker type of thing, you know, because I saw a picture on YouTube or whatever you call it, someone taking a picture of Travis Kelce in a hotel room, like, you know, with Taylor. I'm like, dude, oh my God, like, you know, what are you doing?
To global phenomenon.
Leave the people alone,
How the heck do you
bro.
live up to that? Bieber was being cheered and rewarded for a smile and a hair flip. The world put him on this unsustainable pedestal, which ultimately caused him to break.
Pedestal?
All I know for sure is no money or fame is worth whatever the heck he had to endure to get it.
Well, honestly, I kind of feel personally that the video could have, so to speak, gone longer. Like, just from based on what he was saying, you know, I just felt like there was going to be more, or whatever you can call it. I didn't think it was going to end there. I mean, I kind of knew where it was going, or whatever you can call it, just because, like I said, I watched a decent majority of it, or whatever you can call it. But like I said, you know, I generally wanted to say something for myself, just because, you know, like, we're all human. We go through things and stuff like that. It's like, why are we judging this person, or like, you know, hating on this person for what he did as a little child type of thing? And even still, you know, now, and absolutely crazy. But like I said, I in a way just like, you know, everybody knows me. Justin Bieber, I think, you know, in today's world, probably, you know, is my favorite artist, favorite sort of big inspiration in the world, just because, you know, I almost want to say that he saved me on maybe one of my worst days, or whatever you can call it as well. Clearly give him great thanks, you know, for, you know, having that documentary and being out there, you know, basically in the world, you know. And I had a super big love for him and his music and stuff like that as an early age, and then got bullied, so to speak, just like, you know, him. I mean, not literally, you know, exactly like him, but, you know, sort of what I mean. You know, I got bullied for saying, oh, I got a crush on Justin Bieber. I mean, first of all, no, I don't. No, I didn't. And, you know, even if I did, you know, why? Like, you know, being gay is fine. You know, I'm not gay, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's no problem with that. You know, I don't understand why people had such a hate on that. And yes, it was, like I said, you know, whatever age or year it was when I was in second grade. I don't understand why, you know, the world is sort of still like that, if not maybe worse, you know. And like, maybe now we're sort of realizing the bad stuff and we're like making much controversies. But like I said, you know, personally for me, like, anymore, I stay off the internet because I do not care. I don't want to hear nothing like that, you know, especially like, you know, with the like wars and stuff like that. You know, clearly it's a very, very bad tragedy. But, you know, for example, like a video I did, I put like, it's the only, I think there's maybe like 3 videos on my channel that have no comments turned off, or or they have comments turned off, because people were just like debating so many things, blah blah blah, saying things. But it's like, you know, the karaoke video that I did, you know, for a song, like, you know, again, I don't speak Arabic. I don't know what he's saying. You know, I had no idea what the song was about. I just simply found all these, you know, European, foreign type of artists. And I was like, you know, oh, I'm going to listen to their songs. You know, I'm not like listening to it for meaning. I'm generally listening to it for sound and stuff like that. So it's like, I am listening, you know, ooh, yeah, it sounds fire. Okay, cool. And now I like it. But it's like, you know, that song clearly got so ruined for me, just of how many people, you know, said so many things and stuff. And I honestly thought about taking the video down just because of, you know, everything that happened and stuff. But I mean, I, just like Justin Bieber, like to tell sort of the truth and, you know, share my story, so to speak, you know. And that's really, if you guys watch like all my videos, my subscribers and supporters, you know, if you guys watch all my videos and stuff like that, you clearly know, you know, I clearly go through a bunch of things, and it's terrible. Like I said, you know, I'm not saying I'm the only one. That's about, I think, all I have to say for that video. I appreciate, you know, you watching. I just feel for, you know, people when I watch that type of video, you know, and I'm like, you know, first of all, why are we still talking about it? You know, I understand, like, talk about sort of the bad things, you know, of like, you know, like how people were abusing the frick out of him type of thing, but it's like, oh my frickin' gosh, man, like, leave people alone, bro. Appreciate you watching. That's really all I had to say. And yeah, hopefully there's no, you know, too heavily controversy on this video. Hopefully it's just, you know, understanding and where anyone's coming from. But yeah, appreciate you watching.
Peace.
Yeah.